Welcome to the Q Agenda.
Oh my God, I'm so grateful to be here. Did you just call me gay?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Just a teeny tiny bit. I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
This is so beautiful.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Yeah, and speaking of gay, like I feel just right at home.
Yeah.
It's very rainbow, triangles. Oh, perfect. You nailed
And
it.
speaking of gay and music, we want to talk a little bit about your new pop rock star
Yes.
era. But before we do that, I
Okay.
kind of wanted to take it back to the beginning. Give
okay.
us a little story time of what it was like growing up in New York or Boca Raton.
Oh,
I
see?
know you've moved around.
Yeah, no, I have been around. Yeah. I mean, I would just say I was a very precocious kid.
Okay.
You know, I feel like my family was just always, my mom always loved to take me to musicals and take me, she took me to see Elton John and Billy Joel, and I was at Madonna when I was 7 years old. I was at the Blonde Ambition tour. So just imagine that kid. And oh my God, I was so precocious. And
Yes.
my Nona would always say that I would go up to people and go, "Are you happy? Are you comfortable?" Like, and I just always wanted to make sure everyone had what they needed. And I guess talking about Madonna, I think she was one of like my biggest inspirations early in my life. And I remember having like private Madonna dance time in my house where I would pop in the VHS of Madonna's Immaculate Collection.
Yeah.
And I would just dance in the living room, and my mother would be like, "Are you?" And I was like, "Mom, it's still Madonna time. Like, leave me alone. You can't come in until Madonna time." So she was like, "Okay, all right, fine." Then she was surprised when I came out as gay. We'll talk about that later.
No, we talk about that now.
Yeah, well, that.
She was
I
really
was gonna
surprised.
say.
I was gonna say that seems very.
Okay, so if you ask her now, she's like, "No, I knew the whole time."
Yeah.
However, when I came out to her then, she was surprised.
She was
My
surprised.
mom
Yeah.
was the same way.
Yeah, I was like,
now
how
they're like,
It's like,
how'd
really?
you know?
Right.
But I think it was also like, you know, it was a different time, right? Like I came out 21 years ago.
Sickening.
Which is a long time ago. And you know, it was like way closer to the 80s than it is now. You know, like I feel like people don't remember the 80s and the AIDS epidemic and how so many people were dying left, right, and center. My mother's hairdresser died of AIDS. Like she had many friends who were like in the thick of the fight.
Yeah.
And so like when I came out, like that was the immediate knee-jerk reaction for her.
Which was what?
just like, oh my God, like my son might get AIDS and die.
Oh.
You know, and
okay.
that
It's
is
usually the
that's
fear that keeps
fear.
them from supporting.
Absolutely.
Wow.
their
But then
kids.
together we got to learn. Like I was like, "Mom, so much has happened, you know, in the past, 20 years since the AIDS epidemic." Because I came out, I guess I can't do math, but somewhere in the 2000s.